Andrew Wilson starts fighting with me. Andrew Wilson started fighting with me on Twitter yesterday. So I want to go back. So here's how this happened. For people who don't know. A while ago, Andrew Wilson basically went on a show on his show on Rumble, and they played a clip of mine, and then Andrew Wilson made some crack about she just likes my debate style because she's afraid to sit across from me. Well, after that happened, actually, let me just show you. Is it here? Here. June 11th. These are my DMs with Andrew Wilson. There's a reason I'm showing these. June 11th. Heard you showed my video. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. People said I should debate you or something. So when Andrew Wilson said on his show, she's just afraid to sit across from me, or she doesn't know what it's like to sit across from me, a whole bunch of people from his chat came into my chat. Do you guys remember this? All of a sudden, we had people in the chat going, debate Andrew Wilson, debate Andrew Wilson, debate Andrew Wilson. And I was like, I don't really debate. Hey, thank you. I'm dropping you some love and appreciation before I have to drive again. You know my mission, everyone. Lots of love and wish me luck, comrades. Hey, thank you, two ladies. Appreciate it. Also, thank you to Bot. All hail our queen fascist cult leader. Thank you, Bot, for that. So Andrew Wilson's fan, this is over a month ago. Andrew Wilson's fans were coming into my chat saying, debate Andrew Wilson, debate Andrew Wilson. I was like, what are we even going to debate about? I don't even really debate. But I messaged Andrew at the time and I said, people were telling me I needed to debate you or something. And he responded, do you want to debate about libertarian ethics? And I said, oh God, no, I'm way too fascist for that these days. But if there's anything about the left, I do that. I haven't watched what you said yet. So maybe I'll have other ideas when I do. Because I hadn't actually heard what he said on the show yet when I messaged him this. There's a point to all of this, I promise you. He said, not much, honestly, just you complimented me on my debating, and I thought that's because she's never been on the other end of it. It was just a bit, which is, of course, fine. Hey, Rottweiler. Andrew Wilson is just the Christian version of Matt. I don't know who that guy is. The Atheist Experience main host. The very same debate me, bro, bitch energy both. Yeah, I mean, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I said, okay, I just had some people come into my chat on a stream and demand I debate you. And he said drama frogs. And then I said, and then I went and watched what he actually said. And so then I made and this was just supposed to be lighthearted. This wasn't actually supposed to be a big thing. I was just kind of fucking around on the internet. I said, for the record, I'm not actually afraid to be on the other side of what you would do because I'm completely intellectually consistent in my beliefs. So no, Andrew, I'm not afraid to debate you. Andrew says, I don't recall refusing a debate. I said, cool. So we debate about the left then. He said, the left isn't a prompt. What is this about? I said, what do we disagree on? I would say whiteness means capitalism. You would say it's a skin color. He says, you mean lefty code. I said, I would say that their goal is to abolish gender. You would say that it's sexualizing kids. Yeah, what they actually believe. He said, give me something specific. I said, why don't we debate about whether or not the left hates white people? This is the softest of softballs that I could have possibly given him. I lobbed him a fucking softball and I said, Andrew, you want to fuck around and you want to say that I'm afraid to sit across from you? All right, I will debate you on whether or not the left hates white people. I could not have given him an easier topic to debate. Of course, it's a topic I've also written a book about, which might be pretty easy for me to debate too. But I think it's the most obvious disagreement we have. He says, okay, my position is that they do. My position is that they don't. He says, sure, I'll debate that. This is, again, June 12th. Sweet. When would you like to do this, good sir? No clue. Won't be a couple weeks at least because, number one, that's a gay debate. Number two, I don't have time right now. I said, okay, whatever. Let me know. I'm covering riot stuff anyway. Two, then come up with something better. I'm sure we disagree about many things. That was it. I said flat out, I would debate Andrew about this. I said, whenever we do it on your schedule, I don't really care. But maybe if Andrew was actually interested in following through on the shit talking that he did online, maybe he could have just said, okay, Karlyn, why don't we do it in a couple weeks on such and such a date? And I would have been fine. Well, guess what? I never actually heard back from him. There continued to be an argument about it. We were talking about like intersectionality, and that was it. That's the end of my DMs with Andrew Wilson. I hadn't talked to Andrew Wilson since June 12th. Okay. So that was number one, was that he shit talked me. I said, I'm not afraid to debate you. Just tell me when, and here's a topic. And if you don't want to debate about that topic, we can debate about any other thing on the internet. So nothing ever came of this, and Andrew never got back to me, and Andrew never gave me a time or a date. And so I just kind of forgot about it and moved on. Fast forward a couple weeks, and I'm covering the Socialism Conference, and people can go back. This is on the streams at the time. I'm covering the Socialism Conference, and then all of a sudden I think it was when I was covering that. It may have been when I was covering something else, but all of a sudden I get people in the chat again. Do you want to debate Andrew Wilson? Do you want to debate Andrew Wilson? Do you want to debate Andrew Wilson? And this time it was coming from, this is July. So this was during the Socialism Conference, July 2nd, or it was right before it. This is from Jake Rattlesnake, who is one of Andrew's friends, and they do a show together and all that stuff. And so Jake Rattlesnake 2 weeks later says, do you want to debate Andrew Wilson? And I said, yes, with the right topic. It has to be related to the far left or things I cover. Any topics you proposed. And I said, and this was during the Socialism Conference, well, I already proposed to him the topic of if the left hates white people, but he called it gay, and I told him I'd debate him on literally any other topic to the far left that he'd like better, and he doesn't have any ideas. So again, I said, I will debate you, but you guys have got to give me a topic related to literally anything I cover, and you guys have got to give me a date. Never heard back from him. Well, because I can be a little trolly on the internet, sometimes I've been saying I think Andrew Wilson is afraid to debate me, because quite frankly, I do think Andrew Wilson is actually afraid to debate me. I think Andrew Wilson is fucking terrified to debate me. I think Andrew Wilson knows that I'm not one of his stupid, retarded OnlyFans whores. I think Andrew Wilson knows that I'm completely intellectually superior to him on this topic. I think Andrew Wilson knows that I know this topic backwards and forwards in ways that he could never fathom. I think Andrew Wilson has no intent on having an intellectual discussion on this topic. And the reason that I know that, and again, he could have picked any other topic. He thinks this topic is fake and gay. Fine, whatever. I don't really care. Literally pick any other topic you want to talk about. But instead of doing that, Andrew Wilson decided to belligerently come into my replies yesterday and throw a massive fuck off hissy fit. So this happened. One of his supporters responded, Andrew Wilson is greater than Adam Green. And I said, whatever, he's terrified to debate me, and Adam kicked his ass in the one debate I've seen them have, which is true. And then you'll notice there's a deleted post here. What did that deleted post say, do you think? What did that deleted post say? Well, it said something to the effect of, okay, fatty, tomorrow, 9 p.m. I'm only going to debate on your channel, because I'm not going to put you on my channel for my audience. So essentially, Andrew Wilson came into my replies yesterday, called me fat repeatedly, and then demanded I rearrange my entire fucking schedule to debate him today now at 9 p.m. Now, listen, I think this is a preview of exactly the type of debate tactic that Andrew Wilson would take. And I don't have the full screenshot because he deleted his fucking posts. So we can only get a preview of what it said based on what I could screenshot on Twitter. And honestly, I think that this is just, you guys saw the DMs. I was nothing but nice to Andrew Wilson. I was nothing but nice to Jake Rattlesnake. Maybe there's been a little light teasing and trolling, but I don't actually think I've been that rude. And I just don't think it's appropriate to go into someone's Twitter feed and say, fatty, 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 debate me, bitch, debate me, bitch, debate me, bitch, tomorrow, 9 p.m., your channel, not my channel, because I'm not putting you on my channel for my audience. So he got belligerent, which to me tells us this is exactly what the debate would be like with him. This is exactly what the debate would be like. And we can go back and look at the other things. So he demanded He demanded in this post, basically, that I rearrange my entire schedule to debate him at 9 p.m. today. And I said to him, no, you don't dictate my schedule. I'm not available today. I'm not available tomorrow. I'm not available at 9 p.m. any day this fucking week. You can DM me like a big boy, or you can get Jake Rattlesnake to do it, and we can find a time that works for both of us. I don't care if he had his party. He could have messaged me at any time and not been an asshole about it, okay? I've never been anything but nice to him recently, anyway. I haven't been rude to him. I haven't name called him. I haven't made fun of him for not being able to get the lid off that jar. I didn't do any of that shit. So then he says, whatever, no DMs, all public. So now Andrew Wilson is refusing to message me like an adult and say, here are some times that I'm available. When are you available? He's refusing to do that. He wants to coordinate everything in public because apparently Andrew Wilson has decided that because I'm pointing out that he's obviously and clearly afraid to debate me, that I'm not trustworthy to DM to coordinate a fucking time to talk. No. And I said, I'm very sorry, Andrew. Lots of leftist organizing going on. You understand, I have real things I need to cover. I'll check my schedule and DM you. I'm not playing these games because you got your feelings hurt and you were triggered like a little girl. And he said, no DMs, only public discourse from now on. I know what you are. Simple. He knows what I am. Andrew Wilson is the one that came into my replies and said, fatty, 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 over and over and over again. And he wants to insinuate that I'm the one being rude. And he wants to come and demand that I rearrange my schedule to debate him when he wants to do it. Here's the reality of the situation, Andrew. I'm covering a leftist organizing call tonight, and then we have a movie night in my supporter Discord to watch a James Bond movie that I'm not fucking canceling for your fucking feelings. Tomorrow, I have a show at 9 p.m. that I do every week. I'm not canceling the show that I do at 9 p.m. every single week on Tuesdays for your fucking feelings. On Wednesday, I'm interviewing Amalek on Twitter, something that he was able to coordinate with me in DMs to have a time and a date that worked for both of us. I'm not canceling the interview that was politely coordinated via DMs like a grown-ass fucking adult to placate your fucking feelings. On Thursday, I am teaching a class, an introduction to the far left that people have paid money for. I'm not canceling my class to debate you for your fucking feelings. On Friday, I have my happy hour stream. I'm going to be drinking on my happy hour stream. I'm not debating you while I'm drunk after my happy hour stream to placate your fucking feelings. On Saturday, I have Socialism Saturday, which I am sure as shit not going to cancel to placate your fucking feelings. And on Sunday, I'm taking the one day off that I have every single week, and I'm not canceling my day off for your fucking feelings. So, Andrew, if you want to debate me, you can be a big boy, remove the diaper that Rachel has obviously and clearly put on you, put on your fucking big boy pants, go into my DMs, and like an adult say, Karlyn, here are the dates and times that I'm available after this week. And if you don't want to do that, I don't really care. Let's see. I said, what am I exactly? You were the one who shit talked me publicly, and when I called you out on it, you ran away. Then Jake Rattlesnake tried to get his audience to get me to debate you, and they blah, 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 blah. He said, how can I be running when I said yes and just gave you a day? He didn't just give me a day. He said, do it tomorrow at 9 p.m. or give me another date at 9 p.m. this week. I'm sorry, Andrew. My schedule doesn't work around your fucking feelings. So, I don't think the debate with Andrew Wilson's going to happen. You can see here's the other image that he had that he deleted off of his feed. He says, this is the other thing he deleted. You are lucky I'm even talking to you at all. It's a great favor for you, not me. I'm sorry. Excuse me, what, Andrew? Excuse me, what? You're doing a favor by talking to me? Do you really think that I care about appealing to your low IQ retard audience that you cultivated on the Whatever podcast and the Fresh and Fit podcast? Listen. Andrew Wilson does have some smart supporters. He does. He has some smart fans. I know because there are people that watch both me and Andrew Wilson. And you know what? They're not low IQ retards. I'm not suggesting every single person that watches Andrew is a low IQ retard. However, what I do know is that many, 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 many people in Andrew's audience are low IQ retards that watch him on a dating podcast debating OnlyFans whores, or that have watched him on the Fresh and Fit podcast talking about Black people things. And I don't know, man. I just don't think it's a good match. I don't think my audience is well suited for fans of the Whatever podcast. I don't think my audience is well suited for fans of Fresh and Fit. I have a niche audience where we do high IQ deep dives into like the far left. If you get off on watching OnlyFans whores talk about dating and life, I don't know. I guess there's entertainment for everyone, but I don't think that's the type of audience I want. So Andrew can have the mentality that he wants to appeal to every retard on the internet. I take a little bit of a different approach. I don't want to appeal to the retards of the internet. I want to appeal to people who want high IQ content, doing deep dives into the subjects that I care about. So he said, "You got 1 week, you stupid bovine, to give me a day and a 9 p.m. time slot for the debate. That's all you get. And it's way more than you deserve." No, Andrew. No. Because again, sadly for you, my schedule is booked at 9 p.m. every day this week. And I don't care enough about debating you to change anything that I already have scheduled, because I am a fully grown fucking adult. So I don't think that debate with Andrew Wilson is going to happen, and I'm certainly not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to be sitting across from someone and he's just going to be sitting there going, fat, 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 fat. And that's all the intellectual argument he has to offer. The only reason I was even interested in talking to Andrew Wilson in the first place, was to actually pressure test some of my ideas. Just because I do actually have respect for his debate style. But it is obvious and clear to me that Andrew's debate technique in regards to me is going to be insulting me, to try to trigger me, to get me to cry or shout or do any of these other things. And that's how he's going to win the debate, because obviously he cannot make an intellectual argument. He is not anywhere close to my level of being able to debate this topic, and he fucking knows it, which is why he's having a massive fuck off meltdown hissy fit on Twitter, and why he's deleting his tweets. And again, I'm pretty sure I do have this somewhere. Is that it? Where did I have that? Both of these are tweets that Andrew has actually deleted. So let me just go down my feed here. You can see. If Andrew was really so proud of his posts, let's find them. Hang on. Oh, do you guys see Elmo? Elmo went off. That's Amalek. So these were the tweets that Andrew deleted. So you can see he's so proud of his ask of coming into my feed and calling me fat over and over again and demanding I rearrange my schedule for him, that he deleted those tweets, probably because he was drinking when he sent them. And so then I said, I don't even remember what I said. He's like, shut up and go away, because he's such a little fucking boy. And I said, look at how many feelings Andrew has when he's not debating OnlyFans whores. Anyway, so it was a big day yesterday.